You might think that not sleeping is just a good way to get more things done. But what happens if you don't sleep for 72 hours? In this video, we'll be taking a look at the effects of going without sleep, from losing your mind to dying. Here's what happens if you stop sleeping for 72 hours. First, let's take a look at what happens in the first 16 to 24 hours. The brain fog starts in, do you know how when you haven't slept much the night before, you feel kind of foggy during the day? This is a mild form of what will happen in the first 16 to 24 hours of not sleeping. Your brain will be physically weaker. It'll have less energy to function properly. And this is because sleep is a form of restoration for the body and the brain. So after about a day of not sleeping, you'll start to notice your mind slowing down. Your reaction time slows, like being drunk. When you don't sleep, it can impair your judgment, which can lead to making bad decisions. And a lack of sleep can also slow your reaction time. Studies show that reaction times slow with sleep deprivation, similar to the way they do with alcohol consumption. After just one day of no sleep, you could make a big mistake that could change your life forever, or even put you in danger. Now, after one day of not sleeping, you may not notice some of the other signs, but that doesn't mean that they aren't there. Let's go on to what happens in the next 2 days. In the second day, your memory loss is extreme. Sleep deprivation affects your short-term memory and concentration, but it isn't normally noticeable until the second day. That S, when you start to notice that you're re-forgetting little things a lot more than usual. You might misplace objects or forget where you were supposed to be or who you were supposed to meet up with. You might find yourself questioning where you were and what you were doing only hours before. And this won't go away until you get some sleep. And in the third day, mood swings. Lack of sleep can lead to increased irritability and stress levels. So it's common to experience mood swings during the third day of no sleep. You may feel overwhelmed by everyday tasks or have difficulty controlling your emotions. This can make it hard to interact with others and can lead to arguments and tension in relationships. Your immune system weakens. Sleep helps boost the immune system, so it's natural that it weakens after 3 days without sleep. Your body produces fewer infection-fighting proteins. That means you are more likely to come down with an illness if you don't get rest. A study from the University of Chicago found that sleep-deprived individuals were more susceptible to getting sick. They also had weaker immune responses compared to those who got a full night's rest. Day 3, hand tremors. Day 3 is when you'll really start to feel like you're in a zombie movie. Not sleeping for 3 days is extremely tough on the body, and it'll start to show. You may notice that your hands are shaking or that you're feeling clumsy or uncoordinated. Your speech may also begin to slow down. On average, most adults need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. Without it, your body can suffer serious side effects. Microsleeps. As you continue to go without sleep, your brain will start to force tiny blackouts on you. These microsleeps can last only a few seconds, but they can be incredibly dangerous. This is because you may not be aware that they're happening. Imagine if you were driving and suddenly your brain shuts down for a few seconds. It could cause a serious accident. Even routine tasks, such as brushing your teeth, could become risky. During these moments, your brain essentially takes control away from you and you won't even realize it. At 48 hours, you'll feel extremely tired. By now, you've probably already been experiencing fatigue, but it'll become more severe at 48 hours. You may find it difficult to keep your eyes open, and staying awake becomes a real challenge. You might also feel nauseous and disoriented. You might also have difficulty concentrating and making decisions. And this is because sleep deprivation causes changes in brain activity and hormone levels that affect cognitive performance and can lead to impaired judgment. And at 72 hours, hallucinations and paranoia. After 3 days of not sleeping, you might start to see things that aren't there. Hallucinations are a sign of severe sleep deprivation, and they can be both auditory or visual. You might hear voices or see images that aren't actually present. And it's not uncommon for people who have gone without sleep for extended periods of time to experience paranoia. This means that you might start to feel suspicious of others, and you might think that they re out to get you when they re not. You'll have trouble separating reality from imagination. And this can make everyday tasks very challenging. You may start to feel like you are re-losing your mind, and that is exactly how you would feel. Because studies show that sleep deprivation can cause psychotic symptoms such as hallucinations and delusions. Spiked blood pressure. If you don't sleep for 72 hours, your blood pressure can rise significantly. Lack of sleep causes the body to release more adrenaline and cortisol, which can cause a spike in blood pressure. High blood pressure can lead to serious health problems such as heart disease and stroke. So it's important to get enough sleep to maintain good health. Hormone imbalance. Sleep deprivation can also cause a hormone imbalance, which can lead to a number of physical and psychological problems. Hormones play an important role in regulating a variety of bodily functions, including metabolism, growth and development, and reproductive health. When hormones are out of balance, it can cause a range of issues from weight gain and fertility problems to mood swings and increased stress levels. For example, one study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that sleep deprivation can lead to an increase in the stress hormone cortisol, as well as a decrease in the hormone responsible for regulating sleep, melatonin, and a higher risk of accidents. When you don't get enough sleep, it can be difficult to focus and pay attention to your surroundings. This can increase the likelihood of accidents. For example, drowsy driving is a major cause of car accidents each year. And workers who are sleep deprived are more likely to make mistakes on the job that could lead to injury or even death. So how much sleep do you need? Most adults need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. However, the amount of sleep that a person needs can vary depending on a number of factors, including age, lifestyle, and overall health. It's important to note that the amount of sleep needed is not a fixed number, but rather a range. Some people may feel just as refreshed after 6 hours of sleep as they do after 8 hours. However, for most people, getting too little or too much sleep can have negative consequences. Core truth: sleep is essential for survival, just like food and water. Our bodies need sleep to stay healthy and to function properly. When we don't get enough sleep, our bodies suffer. We're more likely to get sick, our brains don't function properly, and we're more likely to die. There's a reason why sleep is one of the most basic human needs. It's because we need it to survive. So if you're rethinking about pulling an all-nighter to study for an exam or work on a project, remember that it's not worth sacrificing your health. Getting a good night's sleep will help you focus better and perform better than staying up all night. How much sleep did you get last night? Let us know in the comments below. And did you know that not sleeping enough can have a negative effect on your health? We made another video on that exact topic, which you can watch here. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.